Joe Hopkins here, and oh man, I'm still suffering a little bit with a cold. I got one of my favorite drinks here. This is what I do with leftover coffee. I put it in a mason jar, add milk and vanilla syrup, and then it's like one of them things you buy at the store. They cost like $5 a piece, you know? It's good stuff and it soothes the throat, you know? Good stuff. Got it in a mason jar. Got to wipe the top though, or it you know, gets stuff on it. And I'm going to try to do this video about the top 10 one-hit wonders. The dog's barking in the background. Everybody's all excited. My cousin's visiting, so the family's all like, woo, and the dog's freaking out. But such is life, right? Such is life. It's good to be in a house full of family and busyness and love and all that kind of stuff, even if it does get a little noisy. So anyway, I was thinking, I was looking around online, looking up music stuff, and I found Rolling Stone magazine did an article on the top 10 one-hit wonders. So I decided to take a look, and I thought, wow, they kind of nailed it. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good list. I think I'll go over it and give my own thoughts. That's some good stuff, yeah. No beer today, man. Not when you're all stuffed up and, you know, still have to go to work, so, which I'm doing later today. Oh, man. All right. Let's start with number 10. They had The Vapors, Turning Japanese. Everybody knows this song. I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. But you know, that's The Vapors. Nobody ever remembers the name of the band. Yeah, a lot of times that's a song that people think was done by somebody else anyway. You know, that song was about masturbation, turning Japanese, like when you come, like, you know, kind of a weird concept there. But rock and roll, you know, talk about sex stuff in rock and roll. Masturbation, hell yeah. Kind of like Cyndi Lauper's She Bop, you know, people don't realize it's about rubbing one out for the women folk. All right, so anyway, number 9, Question Mark and the Mysterians, 96 Tears, which is a song that most of you will probably go, what? But you've heard it. It got that organ piece, dun, 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 96 Tears. Yeah, you know, whatever. Anyway, apparently originally it was titled 69 Tears, but I guess the label thought, no, you're not doing that. I don't know why. What the hell? What was wrong with, you know, being a little dirty, you know? But 96 Tears. Okay. That's fine. 69 Tears is pretty, well, cooler, I think. Number 8 is one that everybody remembers, Chumbawamba, Tub Thumping. Yeah, the one song that really hit it for them. Yeah, man, you could retire on that hit. Most of these you could retire on, really. That was a really big song back in the 90s, wasn't it, man? Tub Thumping. What, 90s, up into the early 2000s, everybody played the hell out of that. All right, so next one, Blind Melon, No Rain. Honestly, I think Blind Melon would have had more hits. They would have. Their lead singer, what was his name? I wrote it down because I can never remember his name. Shannon Hoon. Dude kind of overdosed and died. I think it was an overdose. He was like addicted to a bunch of crap and he died. If he hadn't have died, honestly, I think they would have had more hits. But I remember they played the crap out of that song, man. At the time, all you saw on MTV was Aerosmith, Dr. Dre, Nirvana, and Blind Melon was on regular rotation. And TLC's Waterfalls, man, they played that a lot on MTV for a while there. Like, it was like 6 or 7 songs that you just played in constant rotation. You know, you got Nothing But a G Thing, Crying by Aerosmith, Waterfalls by TLC, Nirvana was Smells Like Teen Spirit at the time, or Lithium, or whatever was big at that moment, and Blind Melon, No Rain. Just endlessly, they played it. Huge hit. If that dude hadn't have died, they'd have had more hits. Sublime is another one. If Bradley Knoll hadn't have died, they'd have been the next big thing. You know? Well, it's easy to speculate, I guess. But, you know, they had more songs that could have been hits. Which I didn't put Sublime on here, but I don't think I think they had more than one hit. Santeria was the big hit, but anyway, yeah. Number 6 on this list, The Knack, My Sharona. Do 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 do. My Sharona, yeah. My Sharona. That was a huge hit, right? The Knack, I believe they ended up breaking up before they could have another hit, all right? They were supposed to, I know the record label thought, oh, this is going to be the next massive band. And the way the story goes is there was a lot of pressure on them to do a big follow-up to My Sharona. And the next album didn't hit as big. It still did really well. If the second album had been their first album, it would have been a success. But because it was following up such a big hit, there was a lot of pressure on them, right? And they ended up breaking up, I think in like 81, 82, somewhere around the early 80s. They broke up, and so, of course, no more big hits. Which is, it's dumb to put that much pressure on an artist, because when you start out with your big hit, you're not going to have another big hit like that guaranteed on the next album. It might be the third or fourth album that has the next big hit. I think they would have had more big hits. I really do. But they ended up breaking up. The cool thing is Sharona, her actual name was Sharona Alperin. It was like the girlfriend of the singer. She's a real estate agent now. I didn't know that. I read that on the article that I was reading. She does real estate. So you could buy a house from My Sharona. I don't know where she's a real estate agent. California, I guess? I don't know. Somewhere. That's pretty cool. I want to buy a house from My Sharona. I wonder if that helps her sell houses, you know, if it's on her card. Buy a house from My Sharona. All right, the next one, number 5, is a song everybody remembers. Soft Cell, Tainted Love. Ooh, Tainted Love. Remember Tainted Love? That was a good song. They use that in a lot of movies. I bet you they get a ton of royalties off of that thing, even now, because it still gets covered. People cover that song, right? Tainted Love was an awesome song. Very goth, right? Especially for the 80s. A lot of these are 80s. I think most of these are, a lot of these are 80s one-hit wonders. The 80s had a lot of one-hit wonders, you know? But Tainted Love, I thought that was a great song. I thought one of the best uses of it in a movie was the Coneheads movie. If anybody remembers that with Dan Aykroyd, you know? I don't know how many people remember that. I thought it was a funny movie. All right, number 4 is one that I don't know how many of you remember. Big Country by the band In a Big Country. Or In a Big Country by the band Big Country. The band was Big Country. The song was In a Big Country. Big hit in the 80s, right? I think they were Scottish. I'm not entirely sure. A lot of their songs had like bagpipes and stuff in it. That was the only hit they had in the US. But they stayed big in the UK for a good while after that. In Europe, they did really well in their homeland. You know what I mean? Up until like 2001. Isn't that when it was? I wrote it down. I know the lead singer hanged himself, right? Yeah, 2001. Hung himself. I think it was late in the year, something like that. So no more hits from them. I thought they were a good band. They're one of those bands that you should check out their other stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know why they didn't stay big in the US. I think it's because they had too much of a British flavor to them. And that happens with some bands. You sound too much like where you're from, and it kind of gets in the way of doing well anywhere else. I don't know why that is, though. I like other flavors. I like other countries. I love the sound of what they do elsewhere sometimes. All right, so the next one, Norman Greenbaum's Spirit in the Sky. Everybody knows the song Spirit in the Sky. And I think everybody assumes it was done by this band or that band or some other band. But it was a guy called Norman Greenbaum. And the thing with that, this was in the Rolling Stone article, but I already knew this, right? I'd heard this before. He saw a dude doing a gospel song on TV, thought I can do that. So he wrote a gospel song, Spirit in the Sky. And it was a hit. It did really, really well. People always mention, oh, can you believe he was Jewish? But why is that such a big deal? I don't get it. I used to do gospel music. I knew quite a few Jews who did gospel music, right? There are a lot of Jews for Jesus out there. Come on. I don't know why that's always like a mind blower. Boom. Oh my God. Can you believe it? Yeah. So what? Anyway, big hit. I always really liked it. I thought it was a really good song. That's why I never did learn that one. Maybe I should have. Maybe the wife and I should have put that in our set when we were doing gospel music. That'd have been a fun song to do, especially since we played a lot to older folks and a lot of them remember that song fondly. You know what I mean? But yeah. Is it really gospel though? Is it? I think it is. All right. Next one, number 2, Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On, Eileen. Yeah, Come On, Eileen, which apparently is, like a lot of songs, about an actual person that I believe it was the singer had dated when he was in high school, I guess. Yeah, it would have been high school. I guess he remembered her fondly, you know. What was it, like, maybe that was his first time, her first time, something like that. They got it on, you know. So, yeah, Come On, Eileen. I wonder if Eileen came. Did she come on? Did he come on Eileen? Did he come on Eileen? If he didn't, you know, get her pregnant. You got to pull out, buddy. Pull out and come on, Eileen. All right, maybe that's what the song's about. Come on, Eileen. That way you don't get knocked up. All right, that's a terrible song. I'm doing a terrible remake of it there. All right, number 1, and I don't know why. This is only for America, right? As far as a one-hit wonder goes. That's a-ha, Take On Me. And I say it's only for America because Take On Me was the one hit that a-ha had in the US. Huge hit, great video. It's the one with like the black and white pencil drawings and the guy jumps out of the drawing, or she goes into the drawing, or she goes in, he jumps out, something like that. Great video, really loved it. But a-ha had a string of hits. They were a huge band, just not here. I say here, I'm in the US, right? For all of you in Europe that are over there going, what do you mean here? Here in the US, they only had the one hit. But for you guys overseas, they had a bunch of hits. You're probably well aware of a lot more of their songs than we are over here. And you should be aware of their... Oh man, is that cutting off of me? All right. You should be more aware of their hits. For all you guys in the US watching, check out some of their other stuff. a-ha was an awesome band. They were awesome. They had a lot of awesome songs. I love their stuff. And you can find it here now. I mean, there's streaming, there's YouTube, a lot of international stuff out there. They're worth checking out. I don't know why they didn't have more hits here. I think maybe that's the fault of a record label that thought, oh, this isn't really American market kind of stuff. It should have been. They were a good band, great band. Ooh. So anyway, I've read a lot of these Rolling Stones lists, and a lot of times they suck. And sometimes they're really good. And this one was really good. I think they nailed it. As far as 10 one-hit wonders, yeah, those are some really, really big hits that do incredibly well. You know what I mean? Especially Spirit in the Sky. I bring that one up because it's been used in so many movies and in so many soundtracks. That dude's got to be rich as King Midas off of the royalties from that song. You know, especially since it was, you know, all of it goes to him. There is, you know, he's the songwriter. It's not like it's spread among a band. He's got to be doing just fine off of that. And there are a surprising number of people on this list that are dead. Rock and roll is a perilous business. So many of them end up dead. They kill themselves. They get addicted to stuff. Or they die in transit. You know what I mean? Anyway, tell me what you thought of this list and if there should have been some more on there, right? I could think of a couple that could have been on that list, and leave it in the comments down here, right down where, right about, yeah, man, right down there. Don't touch it too hard. Touch it softly. Those down there. Subscribe to my channel. That button is also down there. Push my button. See what happens. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, all right? I'm going to try to get over this cold by the next video, but we'll see, all right? I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.